Hello, I'm Mitra Sorrells in the PhocusWire studio with Julie Farago of Google. Welcome, Julie.
Thanks, Mitra.
So, we're going to be talking all things AI, I think, here in these next few minutes.
Awesome.
Start by helping us understand how AI is changing Google search for travel specifically and about some of the work you're doing in travel.
Yeah, great. I'm excited to share it. So in a lot of ways, there are a couple of major ways that Google search is evolving in this moment of AI transformation. One is in the type of questions that people can ask, and the second is the type of results we show. So on the question front, we're moving from beyond text input, to be able to have voice input so people can ask questions verbally, images, and searching either by taking a photo or by taking a screenshot and searching on that screenshot, or even searching on videos. And what we're finding is that the questions that people are asking are getting more complex and more nuanced, essentially kind of expanding in all sorts of ways. So that's one way. The second way that search is really evolving is in the results that we show. So our results, we are bringing AI to change what we actually bring to users. So we can show better summaries of content that is on the web. We can answer deeper questions. So one of the examples that I've talked to folks about recently is I can look at a result for, say, the San Diego Zoo and then ask Google the question, does it have pandas? And I can find out that, yes, it does, in fact, have pandas. Again, we're evolving the type of output that we have as well. So not only do we have text output and links, but also using images and videos, more throughout our experience.
So, we are constantly hearing about updates from Google about things evolving with AI and some of the new features. Can you help us understand some things that Google has launched in the last year that specifically relate to the traveler experience?
Yeah. So a couple of launches. One, we launched something called AI Overviews. Now that's across all of search, but it's really, again, looking across the web and trying to give people a summary of a bunch of information that is on different websites and then allowing them to dig deeper into those with links. The second is we rolled out in labs and on search as well, this product called Trip Ideas. So you can ask Google, help plan me a trip for 3 days to San Diego with kids, and we give you ideas for what you can do activity-wise and for food, and also where you can stay and how you get there. Other things that we've launched that have uses in travel. So again, being able to search by photo or video. We find that people use that a lot. The translate features, so we've been improving a lot of our translate work. So there are a lot of these pieces that really kind of add up to a smarter user journey on search.
Yeah, and everything you're talking about there, to me, certainly resonates with the idea of a better experience for the consumer and for the traveler. But now let's also talk about what does some of this work mean for your partners and for the overall travel ecosystem? Yeah,
well, so at Google, we really see ourselves as a connector. So really helping answer users' questions and helping address their needs, but not as the final endpoint. Really our success is helping people complete the journeys that they want to complete. In travel, it's helping them build and have amazing travel experiences. So what that means is that when we have these AI tools that people use, we believe, and we have a fair amount of data on this, that we're sending much more highly qualified leads to partners. Okay. That essentially people come and they have higher confidence in the decisions they're making and thus are essentially more likely to convert on those decisions. So a lot of what we see with the Gen AI tools that we have is it allows us to more intelligently, more broadly route people to specific experiences that really cater to their interests. And then because of that, they're more likely to convert.
Yeah, it's really interesting. There's so much speculation about the opportunities for AI and LLMs to really transform the travel industry. What's your take on that?
I think the speculation is correct.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that transformation is going to look like, but I do think that over the next couple of years, travel is going to become far more personalized. I think the idea of a travel companion, an assistant that really helps me actually plan my trips and helps kind of, go through all of the different options and actually come back to me with a subset that are meaningful to me is very real. And I think that there are all sorts of ways that these Gen AI tools are going to make it faster and easier and again, much more personalized to build the trip that I want to have.
Do you have any specific examples that you have already seen in the market today?
So I will tell you ways that I use a lot of these Gen AI tools. So I've been using Google and Gemini to get ideas on where to travel. So for example, being able to ask Google questions for my April break. Where do I go with an 11-year-old and a 14-year-old in April? That's somewhere warm. And we can have outdoor adventures. Like being able to ask much more complicated queries. I do that now and I get great ideas where to go. Like I said, I've been using it for actually planning trips. So, plan me a 3-day trip. And again, it's not a final plan, but it gives me really good ideas to start from and then I can iterate from there. I have also been using some of the Gen AI tools in order to do things like, so interestingly, maybe it's not Gen AI, but AI, I found that search has gotten a lot better. So when I search for things, like the other day, I was looking for a restaurant that had oysters. We had friends visiting and they really wanted to have an oyster. I live in Boston. And all the results that I got, they showed me pictures of oysters from the restaurants that I was looking at. And so again, the ability for AI to understand what I'm saying and then actually serve the right results, it's really astounding.
And finally, I would ask, clearly the use of AI and generative AI is something that's being talked about across every industry.
Yes.
So are there any learnings from industries outside of travel that maybe we can learn from?
Well, I mean, I think one of the things that I have really taken to heart and that I think many of us inside of Google have is how can we use these large language models, these AI tools, to really accelerate our workflows. So whether it's developer workflows and how we code and how we actually implement systems, or if it's essentially communication, so email drafts or document drafts or even feedback on documents that I do write, I use them very heavily for that. Or even accelerating our kind of service industry and what we can do to really enable service to be, in many ways, like AI first and then with humans in the loop. So I think those are some of the ways that I've seen AI start to be put to action beyond the products themselves, but really in a transformative way in the industry.
Really, really interesting. I'm certain we'll be hearing more from you in the coming year. So very, very interesting. Thank you so much, Julie Farago of Google.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.